Being a teacher in the fast-changing world of the early 21st century requires approaching the task of teaching with recognition of how these new social challenges and demands impact on education. Students constantly interact with technologies such as iPods, mobile phones, the internet, and social networking sites, so it is little wonder there's an expectation that these technologies will also support their learning, remain current, and reflect the worldwide trend towards the digital approach to education. Students are growing up in a high-tech world, and it is changing the way they learn and engage with social networks. The Australian Institute for Teaching and School Leadership recognised the impact of technological growth, and it is reflected in the professional standards for teachers. Teachers are expected to develop strategies for using ICTs to support the safe, responsible and ethical use of ICT in learning and teaching. Current pedagogy requires teachers following the recognisable TPAC framework as best practice model, knowing their content area and finding multiple ways of representing the subject matter, and the ability to use technological knowledge to make choices about the tools of instruction for learning to be effective and meaningful. The Australian curriculum requires students to develop ICT capability as they learn to use ICT effectively and appropriately to access, create and communicate information and ideas, solve problems and work collaboratively in all areas at school and in their lives beyond school. Digital whiteboards, the web, document cameras and computers all hold the capacity to make instruction dynamic and engaging for students. The Australian curriculum recognises that every teacher, regardless of discipline, is a technology-based teacher. Social networks such as Facebook have changed the way students communicate. The use of ICT in delivering classroom learning is related to what needs to be done to align the nature and structure of school with the contemporary culture, the changing need of our society and increased demand for assistive technologies in accommodating diversity and educating all students. Teachers providing multiple uses of technology accommodate this student diversity, enable students to access learning. In accommodating student diversity, teachers can use a variety of presentations for individualised learning so students can actively participate. Looking at Bloom's higher order thinking, learning is based on students' active participation, as said, in problem solving and critical thinking, whilst involved in their learning activity which they find relevant and engaging. The use of ICT across the curricular activity enhances student learning as students reflect on the choice of digital tools used in creating and refining products, the use of spreadsheets in performing mathematical operations, engaging in collaborative project-based learning, using digital maps to plan and research projects, search for data are information examples of ICT used in curriculum tasks. An example of project-based learning is this presentation. Project-based learning provides opportunities for students to work in groups, developing collaboration skills whilst actively engaging in learning through solving problems and creating aligned with Bloom's high order of thinking. The use of all these ICT tools and sites require the scaffolding of Bloom's digital taxonomy of scale. Students using digital mediums, the retrieval of information, media and material, recalling specific information, using social networking, Googling, all require skills associated with remembering. Blogs and twittering are linking knowledge and concepts, operating and editing and sharing information in collaborative ways. Students are demonstrating their understanding of digital technology through all these processes. Students taking part in a group video production and using Audacity, for example, demonstrate the use of control of equipment, operating and uploading and interaction required during editing, critiquing, evaluating and sharing of information. Each class digital task described required creating, which is the highest order of Bloom's digital taxonomy scale. The use of ICT in teaching enables students to understand the use of ICT through ethical and efficient manners. They develop knowledge of multiple technologies. Students gain skills through technology that encourages collaboration, develops team skills and gains effective communication skills with self-assessment and peer review through engaging and presentation of their tasks, which is all aligned with the ACARA's general capabilities requirements. When I commenced 1251 EDN, my exposure to ICT and skills level was minimal. The journey to understanding the use and relevance of ICT in creating student-centred approach to teaching has been both a rapid and exciting journey. Experiencing the use of of social media sites such as wiki, blogs, viewing online content in alternative formats has provided opportunities to engage with digital exercises that have changed my view on technology. The course demonstrated how ICT has the potential to improve the quality and standard of student education, and it is something I want to take into the future and embrace as a teacher.